Are you team sub or dub? Which, now that I say it out loud, kind of sounds weird and out of context. But we're talking about anime. We're talking about anime, okay? The sub versus dub debate has been raging on for years in the anime community. Fans on both sides defending their preferences profusely, along with their questionably aged waifus. Now, there's usually 2 points to this argument. The first one being comfortable with what you're watching and just turning your brain off and enjoying the show, while those who prefer sub believe that preserves the authenticity, so they don't mind having to sit and read. And now I say that as someone who does watch anime in subbed. I don't mind reading. It's not that bad. Usually a lot of time when the action is happening, there is no talking. Unless you know, you're Naruto. Then it's talk no jutsu.
Yeah. Trying to defeat you with force isn't gonna work. I get that now. Because the two of us have all the exact same moves.
But that's besides the point. Which is understandable, as the main point that dub watchers do make is that they want to be comfortable while watching the show, and watching it in their native language makes it easier for them to watch. They feel as if they could probably look away from the screen for 2 seconds when the FBI is knocking on their door because, once again, questionable waifu ages. However, the second point is the biggest issue that a lot of sub-watchers, me included, have, as this is also a problem when it comes to manga. So when manga and anime are translated, they obviously hire a, you guessed it, translator. And sometimes those translators do a really good job of coming up with iconic lines for series. The most prominent example I'm going to use in this video is the Jujutsu Kaisen. Stuff like, "Nah, I'd win," and other great lines dropped by the translator. This is due to Japanese being a very complex language to translate into English. So a lot of times the translators have to do their best to make it easy for the readers to understand what's going on. But of course, there's the other side of the situation, the MeloMikal kitchen situation, which, if you don't know what that was, basically the translator for the Jujutsu Kaisen anime mistranslated a character saying malevolent shrine into malevolent kitchen. And I mean, this was a meme in the Jujutsu Kaisen community for a good bit. I mean, it makes sense to that. Those people are weirdos. But ironically, I have to state that this was done with the subtitles. It wasn't done in the dub, but it just goes to show that that's why a lot of sub people don't trust even the translations of the dub. I think the most notorious example I can think of was the Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid situation, where they added new dialogue in the dub version to basically lead to a joke about, you know, women being subjected to patriarchal demands or something along those lines. And it became infamous because a lot of people felt as if it didn't fit with the rest of the anime's humor, and it stuck out like a sore thumb. And then when it was found that that wasn't even said in the subbed version, a lot of people got kind of upset. Now, some people got upset for the wrong reason. We're not talking about those people. Other people got upset because they watched the dub, and it made them realize how easy it is for the studios to change dialogue or add dialogue to change a story. Which I'm surprised it took people that long to realize that, because I watched the 4Kids version of One Piece for my first introduction to One Piece. But that show is a prime example of what studios could do to anime dubs and the translation. But because of those 2 examples, that is why I watch anime in subbed, because I had to deal with Zolo instead of Zoro, and deal with Sanji with a weird accent.
Hey, lover girl who treats me like dirt. Hey, gorgeous, you remember me, right? Any chance you're free Friday? When did Luffy start having complete thoughts such as this? Then try backing it up, sword boy.
So instead of ever having to deal with something like that again, I'd rather just watch the anime in its native language and have to read what's being said. But now, again, using the example of how they can even mistranslate with the subtitles, it becomes a very difficult thing to argue when it comes to the quality of these translations on both sides of the argument. But again, what's interesting about this is then again you have the complete opposite type of situation on this spectrum with an anime called Ghost Stories. Now, if you don't know what the Ghost Story dub is, you are missing out, my friend. Let me tell you. The Ghost Story dub was basically done because the original story was seen as kind of boring and not memorable. So the dubbing studio saw a chance to just do anything goes. Let's just go into a booth and record what we think is just funny. And it completely changes what the anime is about. And it honestly is hilarious. If you have never watched the Ghost Story dub or seen clips of it, look it up. It's honestly really funny. And then also you have the fan dubs, the abridged versions. You got the Sword Art Online abridged, you got, of course, Dragon Ball, Hellsing. I could go on and on. These are also seen as really quote-unquote good dubs, but they're more seen as fun parodies that fans have done, which of course changes the story a little bit, but keeps close to the original material. But then of course usually the creators of the anime or source material do not like these abridged versions. That is definitely its own can of worms. Also, this isn't like a big major point. This is more of a personal thing, but I just really don't want to hear Bryce Papenbrook's voice. Lovely guy, think he's great, but God, is he in everything? And I mean, he's in everything. But hey, isn't that the big thing about this argument? It's about preference. So at the end of the day, if you like watching anime and sub, then that's what you like. If you like watching anime and dub, that's also what you like. But this is the internet we're talking about, and we can't respect each other's opinions. If only, right? But what about you? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you watch your anime in sub? Do you watch it in dubbed? Why? Let us know down in the comments, because I feel like a lot of people have a lot of different reasons as to why they prefer one or the other. And if you like this video, hit that like button, and maybe subscribe for more anime and gaming type content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.